Hello, Collective. This is Sheila, your host for Intentional Conversations, and I hope you guys are doing well. It is 3:18 a.m. Yes. On this, what's today? Is it Wednesday? No, Thursday. So you might wondering, like, why is Sheila up at 3 a.m.? Well, honey, let me tell you. This podcast is going to be the T, okay? The TEE. All right. So let's begin. The collective message today is um clarity, calm clarity, truth and groundness, awareness and maturity. So uh I've been having an interesting week, but let me tell you, I created this podcast for those of you who are experiencing spiritual warfare or some things don't look like warfare, but some things that you may think is happening to you and it's just unusually odd. You're going through an unusually hard time, or you're going through an unusually um a difficult challenge in your life. Okay, some of this stuff is natural and the other half is imposed. And so we need to get a little bit grounded, especially in the spiritual community. For me to have a Christian background, but I have a little, shamanic flair to me, because I am very, I call it magical indeed, or spiritual indeed. Um, I see a lot of stuff. I'm very intuitive, and so I see a lot of things a lot of people probably wouldn't even think is in our reality, but it is. And so we're going to talk about the Jezebel spirit that's been plaguing this community for a while now. It's called a cord weaver Jezebelian spirit. Okay, it's a Jezebel spirit that weaves cords out of his mouth. And what it does, it's practitioners will cast spells and they will send these corded demons, mouth corded demons to you. And what that corded demon do is it goes down your aura and extends these light cords all down your body, all up your body, back down your body, up, down your body. And a lot of you in this community is experiencing this right now. It takes over your whole body. It's like a corded, it's like a, it's like to me, it's like hay, but a whole mound of it inside of your body. And when you're emotionally driven, it extends out and it wiggles like something straight out of Stranger Things. And a lot of you cannot see that level of impact on you when you're in spiritual warfare. I can see a lot. I just keep it to myself. So a lot of you who are dealing with uh, cord cuttings and you're not sure why you're getting these heavy, dense cord in your body and you feel it, unless you go to a Reiki healer, who I would not recommend to do this type of removal as a Reiki practitioner. If you're dealing with if you're a Reiki healer or a pranic healer, please pay attention to this podcast because this is not for everybody to just pull up out of your hands, touch it with your hands, this level of vampism. Okay. So, so the community is being plagued by this Jezebelian, I'm saying Jezebelian, but Jezebel cord weaver spirit. And what it does is people are sending this to people at night during the daytime, and they are touching your objects on your computer. They're touching your mouse, your drinks, your straw, touching your doorknob. They're touching your food, your drink, and they're touching everything in your vicinity. They can anchor to your desk. And what it is that people are doing such extreme witchcraft nowadays because of this energy harvesting. A lot of people are trying to feed on really high vibrational energies, and they have gone into this very extreme trespassing against you to either inhabit your ideas, your wealth, your love life. This is, I call it an encroachment of spirit. And so these people have abused it to the point where you're seeing these attacks in the daytime, and you're seeing these attacks just hitting random people like out the blue. You'd be like, what the hell? Why are they getting hit? Why they, you're starting to see these spirits just kind of phantomly attacking people in the daytime now. So the collective is wondering how can I protect myself? I will definitely tell everybody to go get Rue, RUE. Get Rue and put it in a bowl with salt, pray over it. Um, and you can also drink Rue tea. I highly recommend everyone drink 3 cups, 3 cups a day if you're really impacted. But look at your health and look at how long you can drink Rue for, how many days. I advise everybody to start fasting 3 days a week. I recommend, fast, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you can enjoy your weekend. But I recommend people to get into fasting. I recommend people get Rue, RUE, get the tea version. I sell tea on Etsy. You can go to EYLE or you go to my Etsy shop, which is Eyle, which is my business name, EYLE Studios, to buy the tea. I have the remedy of this Jezebel spirit. I do have the oil as well if you need to light a candle to get rid of it. Because someone is sending this to you probably every day or very often enough to the point where your life is slipping away, I call it slipping away, and you're not knowing how to recover. And what a lot of the people in the community are dealing with is a corded weaver Jezebel spirit, and it's a corded mouth demon. It has white light coming out of his mouth, and it's corded, and it is scanning your aura, and it's laying all these cords all over you like an imprint. And a lot of you who can't see in the body, but your whole body is just webbed in cords from head to toe. And this is making people ill, and people are not knowing why they're ill. People are being controlled in their sleep with people doing witchcraft where they're cording you up with these demons, and then they use these red binding cords with with voodoo dolls or whatever object that they may have, and these red cords are extending in your mind, and they're doing subliminal messages to you. They're giving you suggestive talk, suggestive ideas. You think it's naturally your own, is not. Um, so there's a lot of things happening in the collective right now where I call it the subconscious invaders, the subconscious trespassers, and they have gotten to a point where they don't just hit your dreams; they get into your higher, super subconscious impact, where you don't even know that it's happening to you in your sleep. Like when you wake up, you don't even know that you've been uh, uh, pretty much tampered with in your sleep. Okay, so there, and people say, how do they do that? It's actually a demon that's coming into your head in your crown chakra when you're sleeping at night, not just a voodoo doll. Okay, and so there's a lot happening in the community where I'm not here to point people out. I'm not going to do that. But I will definitely say how to recover. I think a lot of you need to get your root tea. I know it's probably gonna be sold out soon. Some of y'all hear this podcast. I got my stash. I ain't playing. Okay. But if you don't, I have a very strong tea that's available, safe, pet friendly. Everything I sell on my Etsy shop is pet friendly. That means you can lay it down and nobody's gonna croak. Um, but it gets rid of these parasitic vampirist energies that's making you more vulnerable for energy harvesting. So the collective needs to start being very aware that no matter how intuitive someone is, uh, depending on how long you've been in business or how long you've been in your intuitive path as a tarot reader or whoever, you're going to see a lot of things. And the key that I'm starting to notice is that no matter how reputable you may appear, people are not in their integrity as they say they are. For me, and I'm very intuitive. I keep saying that over and over again. I am extremely intuitive. And I've seen people who I know who said they're intuitive, like they will stand on it 10 toes deep, but they miss this. I'm like, how are you so professional? The biggest, witch on the block, or the biggest healer on the block, and you did not see this Jezebelian spirit or this Jezebel spirit raping up, attacking half of your community. So it makes me question people, the integrity, the know-how, knowledge is power and power is all power. So I do see that happening in the collective where there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and a lot of you guys are dealing with super serious warfare, and a lot of you are not winning. And that's the key. A lot of you don't know how to counter it. A lot of you are not, in the Christian pathway like I am. I came, I'm not a witch, but I'm pretty much focused on, I'm very gifted, but I'm not a practicing witch. Even though I like spirit, I like all spirit. I can go to the light and the dark. So I like spirit in general, Um, so I feel like the collective need to hear this message where I've seen the corded demon they've been going around attacking innocent people who don't even know, I call it muggles, who don't have any clue what they're experiencing. I also seen people walking into people's homes, witches walking into people's homes and touching objects in the home and then coming back later that night so that they can anchor themselves into your house and do witchcraft on you every night. They can anchor your altar, they can anchor, items in your home, statues, things like that, and they're anchor themselves into your home, and then they can come in that way as well. So you're seeing a lot of people talking about surveillance and being watched. These groups now out here nowadays have organized so well, and you're thinking it's like mature adults and things like that, and a lot of these people are young. They're probably 30s. Some of these people, I'm talking about the minions, the flying monkeys, are like 30 and under. They're 30 and under right now, and they're pretty young and impressionable. And I noticed that every single one that I've seen, due to my experience of witchcraft, they come out hostile. They come out like they're Tasmanian devils, like they're looking for a fight. But then in the astral realm, they're fighting like this in the astral realm. That's hot-tempered. They feel tough. They feel invincible. And then I don't think a lot of them know what they're coming up against, with certain people. I'm like, you don't know what you're coming up against. You really don't know who these people really rocking with nowadays. And so I think that's why a lot of these people are targeting I call it the more softer, light, high vibrational communities, because a lot of you guys don't fight. You love and light and hug trees. Um, and then, those of you who are really high vibration who don't know anything about witchcraft is even more acceptable. Um, I feel like the collective need to know this because I feel like there's a lot of leaders out there that can really help the community and not pretend to help. I feel like there's been a lot of abuse in this community, not just in Christianity, because I feel like Christianity has abuse as well. I feel like in a lot of different areas, there's a lot of abuse, and some of this stuff is so um volatilely nasty that is borderline criminal. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's borderline criminal. To me, it's flat out criminal. And the only thing is not getting it mainstream because of the nature of religion. I don't know how much longer that's going to stand once certain things become mainstream news. I feel like these people are going to get into a direction where they're going to hit the wrong person, and it's going to go all the way to Supreme Court. You will see about 55 priests outside trying to grabbing courtyard dirt, trying to abolish the law. So I feel like the collective need to um definitely sort out. Just another thing I want to say too is about trespassing, spiritual trespassing. These people have gotten to the point where I talk to spirit, of course, and spirit has said that there's trespassing, and there's trespassing, right? And that's when somebody, of course, um, pretty much invade your space, or, you know, insert themselves in some way against you. Well, the biggest and fastest way that I've seen that people have trespassed against people is through astral realm. Okay. There's people that have paid people to watch you through a black mirror. Paid people to remote view you and just sit there. They're sitting at a desk and they're just sitting there watching you in the astral realm for hours and hours, maybe in shifts. And so a lot of you saying, "Well, I feel like I'm being watched." I'm like, you are being watched. Don't say you're going through some psychosis. Don't think you're losing your mind. You are being watched. Nowadays, they will try to tell you, and they try to play it up. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, I'm like, no, not today. I've seen too much and seen too many people who have act beyond the realms of integrity to not sit here and bullshit you and say, oh, it's just your mind. It doesn't happen to everybody. I'm like, I think these people have done a little bit more than that, for a lot of the collectives. There's too many people in the collective kind of voicing the same thing, not in a very organized way, but there's too many people who are experiencing gang stalking or feel like they're being watched without having some sort of answer to it. And I'm not saying that I have the absolute answer. I'm just pointing in the direction that you may be dealing with someone who's been astral projecting, trespassing against you, sitting in your kitchen for 4 or 5 hours, listening to every conversation you have, watching you on your computer, working, and then they go back and tell everybody what you're doing, and then you wondering how Joe knows that you're doing this, and John, how she hear about this conversation? Is she that psychic? No, she's not that psychic. What it is that they've been astral projecting and watching you for hours with a notebook, taking note on you in the bathroom mirrors, the mirrors. They can see you through your mirrors and things like that. So the collective, you know, uh, they have gotten to the point where they have become so aggressive in their astral projecting that a lot of you can't keep up with how much they astral project, because some of these people are not just obsessive, but they kind of like, um it's almost given like a Tasmanian devil. Like they're very chaotic. They're very loud. They're very aggressive, and a lot of you will lay salt at your door, holy door, put holy oil on your doors, and they're still coming through your vent. They can come and ask you to travel through your vent, or find another avenue, or maybe have left an imprint, touching objects in your space and leaving themselves some opening, even your emotions, your dream state, and still gaining access. And so a lot of you guys are doing crazy amount of protection, and you wonder how these people are still getting access to you. It's because most 9 times out of 10, someone has touched you in your sleep and laid some sort of imprint on you, have done something into some sort of energetic tampering in your aura, and they have allowed these openings to constantly invade and trespass you at an extreme rate that a lot of you can't get a full hold of it. Um, Now, of course, a lot of you, in my opinion, you need to get uh, your holy water. Go on Amazon and get your holy water. I'm not joking. I'm not playing whatsoever. I think a lot of you need to go out there and get a Saint Benedict medal. I don't care if it's the small one or not. It doesn't matter the size. It's a very powerful tool. You can even print it out if you don't want to buy one. Print it out and place it in a photo, and like maybe behind certain photos near your doors, and this will help as well. Saint Benedict is no joke, let me tell you. Um, these people are doing a lot of extremes in the collective, and a lot of you are getting these spiritual attachments, and they're not coming off as easily as it would normally would. A lot of you are dealing with people who are worshiping, feeding was it, which color, Leviathan. Some of these people have Leviathan altars, and they feed these Leviathan spirits with, dragons. I call them dragons, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, and I call it, and then people are doing these things called a twisting spirit. And it's like a black energetic mass. It's like a twisting spirit. And so a lot of you are dealing with extreme warfare, but you can't tell because you think it's just, We have become very programmed to think everything's mental health and not spiritual. Even though we're getting ready, if you're a Christian, hardcore Christian, a lot of you are thinking you're going through revelations, and you are. And you're going through revelations, and you are. A lot of you who are not able to get a job in your community, like if you got fired from a community, or fired from a job, or I mean, cast out of a community, or fired from a job. I don't. I tell people all the time, it may not just be your job. It may be somebody doing something against you with these current times, because I've seen since COVID, I think, a mass increase in these type of levels of trespassing at an extreme rate that it can't be ignored. And even my own experiences in warfare, um, it was my experiences with warfare is probably the most extreme that I don't think anybody has as much warfare that I've experienced in my lifetime. I've seen other people go through witchcraft, but never as extreme as what I've experienced. Okay. And I'm still experiencing today. Okay. I'm definitely experiencing very extreme warfare. Somebody mentioned something about, I don't want to talk about that. Spirit just brought up something. Um, so a lot of you are being targeted for your gifts, your ideas, and your ability to make money or manifest. And what these people are doing is that a lot of you who are really anointed, or I call it the sleeping anointed in the collective, who you go get a reading, or you go get a candle or something from somebody. I'm advising you to be way more discerning, way more careful than you ever been before, because a lot of you are being spirits that's make spirits make last spirits that's targeted for lunch. You're about to be eaten and devoured by a very strong negative force. And a lot of you are just beautiful, wanting to be loved, wanting to be healed in some way. And you're walking into a lot of times a bear trap, what looks alluring and professional and integrity, maybe even a mother spirit, like somebody could walk, who feels like a mother that you can just relate to and share all your problems to. It's really sizing you up for dinner. It's giving me was it Heddle and Gretel? It's giving me that, where somebody's, come here, my child, eat the candy, eat the poison, and then you find yourself eating. It's giving that kind of vibe, collective. And I feel like the collective needs to hold, and catch yourself, save yourself, and don't give your authority away. Stop giving your authority away in this collective spiritual streets. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Stop giving your authority away in these spiritual streets. Okay? A lot of you go to get a reading, and you are laying your life in front of someone, and you're giving your authority through those cards, through that person's wisdom. You don't know what side of the fence they're on, what kind of day they're having, what kind of plans they got for you, to be honest. And a lot of you are in very dire situations. Some of you guys got mental health issues that people are exploiting your problems back to you through witchcraft. You may not see the effects of it right today, but I'm telling you, a lot of you will go and get a reading, and maybe 5, 6 months from now, you start to have these experiences in your life, and you wonder why your life is so hard all of a sudden, and you can't pinpoint it. A lot of times you open a door that you did not know that you was putting your life in danger to. And I feel like the collective needs to wake up a little Susie. Okay. So this is also the witchcraft that people are doing nowadays. They're not just attacking you, but they're attacking your bloodline. They're not just attacking you; they're attacking your living family, so that as you endure the witchcraft for them to control you in some sort of way, they're also attacking your family, your living family, and then they're doing things to your dead ancestors as well. Okay, so I need everybody to understand the exploitation the levels of extremes that a lot of you are opening yourselves up to. You're thinking these people are going to be kind to you. You think these people are going to have some integrity, see you in tears, and that they'll slow down and stop. They're not. They're not going to slow down and stop because you're crying. They're not going to slow down and stop because you're in pain. Okay, because you already told them you was in pain. Before, probably most time when they look at your readings, they see a lot of your wounds right there. A lot of you are opening yourselves up for experiences that you're not capable probably to handle on your own. Okay. There's a lot of envy in these spiritual streets, and it doesn't take much nowadays for people to twist your words and to twist your tongue and bind you with lies and slander. There's a lot in the collective. I've been watching the trend on in TikTok, and a lot of everybody's speaking about this rumor, this slander. That is witchcraft. Someone wants somebody to believe in an action of, maybe you or myself in a certain way that's not true. And this is how people in mass form starts to act against you. And so a lot of you guys don't even, you're hearing the wisdom, but you're not seeing it or implying it. Because after I watched the collective is getting these messages for more than 5 or 6 months. And a lot of you are still in a mental fog because a lot of you are under witchcraft. A lot of you are hearing it and you forget. You're hearing it and you fall asleep. You're hearing it and you get distracted. I'm like, that is witchcraft. A lot of you guys are so on it like Donkey Kong. Certain things ain't gonna go past you too many times. Some of y'all are so on it. A lot of you intuitions is so on it that a lot of you ain't gonna just continue to miss and miss and miss and miss these cues like I've seen some of you missing. Okay, because some of y'all swear to God, y'all the toughest MCs in the block. And I'm like, you ain't seen shit. You haven't seen what's written. You can't even see, can't get him out of your fog to see. I have a podcast called The Fog, what's it? The fog is lifting in the collective. But a lot of you are under extreme witchcraft. And you're thinking you're not. And I tell everybody, 9 times out of 10, a lot of you are in the blast zone. And we said, what you mean I'm in the blast zone? I ain't getting no witchcraft from me. If you're talking to a witch, you in the blast zone. If you in their chat room, you in the blast zone. You watching their live, bitch, you in the blast zone. You are in the blast zone, okay? You be wondering why your life falling apart too. You're like, well, I didn't do anything. Well, you was up in there, girl. You think the revelation just gonna pick few of y'all? No, they're probably gonna round up a whole bunch of you. No. No, I'm just making a joke there. But I feel like it's for real though. A lot of you guys are in the blast zone. And you're looking around, it can't be me. I'm like, bitch, you in it. 10 toes deep. You get on TikTok and you start doing videos. It can't be me. Bitch, it's you. You're in the blast zone. Some of y'all are in relationships and you bet, and I laugh because people said, how people will critique your personality, and your saving grace is your personality. Some of y'all could be on the island, and your personality is how you behave and how you think is going to save your life or end up in some sort of dire state. These people, from what I've seen, if you don't have the idea to communicate and say what you say and say what you mean and mean what you say and not fall for peer pressure, because a lot of you crumble for peer pressure because you want to be loved, you want to be liked, and you got 35 people telling you you're wrong. I don't give a goddamn. You could be 150 and tell me I'm wrong. I'm still gonna stand on that ass 10 toes deep. Especially if my intuition's on it. She's like, the sky is falling clear. The sky could be falling. No, 50 people could tell me the sky is falling. I'm gonna look at the sky and go, let me check for my motherfucking self. I'm not taking your word for it. I done readings all the time. I don't disrespect readings that I get, but I take note and I still handle my flow. I don't just assume and behave automatically based on readings. I'm listening and taking note, and what resonates resonates. A lot of you guys are dealing with somebody who's, again, a freaking Jezebelian spirit. I'm laughing 'cause I keep saying Jezebelian. Somebody's a lust bucket, and they've been working hard for you to trust them. Maybe they've been doing spell work on you, to, in some sort of way. And I just feel like some of you guys, you're going to have a very charming, good-looking person coming to you, and they're a slut bucket. And just because it looks good don't mean it's good for you. And I really feel like this handsome or gorgeous person that's coming towards you, who's been working hard to make effort to come to you, it's going to be, I'm left to hear him say, "You're the one to make me happy." Somebody's being set up to come towards you, or somebody sees you and they're going to come to you and they're not the one. Just prepare yourself, collective. Somebody's doing a lot of dark magic as well towards our star seed, voodoo, most likely. There's someone who may have a lot of money or had a lot of money. I'm definitely gonna say had a lot of money. Maybe they don't have the money anymore, or their money is getting low. Something's happened to this person's money, by the way. But there's somebody who's wealthy, that could be also doing spell work against you. So you may have, if you're a female, you may have two people getting ready to come to you. And if you're a male, if you're not already attached to a female, she could be a karmic. Um, a lot of you are experiencing some sort of energetic or magic, in your lives right now. And a lot of you probably can't tell what it is. It's because you the level of manipulation can be done in your sleep, and a lot of you don't remember, and sometimes it's in a higher subconscious area of your mind where you're not going to remember, anyway. And a lot of you need to go to a really trusted individual to see. So someone, yeah, so a lot of you guys, there's someone who's doing divinations on you who's completely unbothered. Maybe probably even unbothered with consequences. This is somebody I see who don't probably is doing divinations to see what kind of experience that they're going to experience from these spells breaking. But what I see is that they don't have much expression. They don't care. Okay. So if you're really expecting somebody to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," they may say those words, but I don't think they really mean it. And a lot of you have been under warfare for years. Um, there's somebody, to just give an example. I've seen someone recently. I saw them around 2017. It's been years. They was under witchcraft back then, and I knew it. Tried to tell them, they didn't hear me. I said, "Okay, this is 2017, by the way." I told this person, I was like, "You're under witchcraft influence." This person's like, "No, there's no possible way." Didn't believe me. And I saw them not too long ago, and them suckers are still in that same goddamn spell. I said, "Well, hell, hear me. Well, hell, what the heck, And they're still looking at me. They're better. Yeah, I will say this: they're better, but they still hit. I can still see the remnants of the spell work. And I want my collective to stop being complacent. Um, Don't be complacent. Take note, even if you just write it down in your book and come back to it. I feel like a lot of people think when I mean complacent that you have to hit right now. In witchcraft, I would advise you to hit it right away. But a lot of you are under such heavy mental manipulation. At least write it down so that if you happen to get back to it in a clear state of mind, you can have somebody, to help you lift it off of you. I would highly recommend going to a really gifted individual. I mean, really gifted on, deliverance and getting you fixed up and cleansed. Okay. And don't let anyone tell you that only certain people can break these curses off of you. Okay. I will tell you that. Let's see what else is out there, collective. But yeah, right now I want my collective to go go buy some tea, rue tea, and start sipping it every day. Morning, once in the morning and once at night. If you got a really bad case, 3 times a day. Definitely check with the doctor about how many times or how long to drink your tea because some teas you can't drink for so many days. If you're pregnant, you definitely need to go and get your doctor's orders on Rue. But I highly recommend it, okay, collective? Just to help you out right now. Get the Rue. Rue de Rue Rue Rue. And smoke and burn Rue before you go to bed at night. Um, yeah, so somebody is working really hard. There's a man who has money or once had money, is doing some sort of death magic towards a star seed, and they're lustfully doing a lot of voodoo. They're very sexually attracted to you. They're doing a lot of voodoo. They're gonna have to let this situation go. Could be someone who held on to you for too long with a third party relationship, which to me is false as well. Um, there's people who will probably entangling you in situations that you did not live in, okay, collective. Because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of illusions based on money. I feel like a lot of the behaviors that the collectives are dealing with is someone holding you down spiritually based on money. And then there's a lot of lies around it, okay? Um, yeah, somebody wanted you in a third party relationship. So this is like somebody telling somebody that that you and them used to date, and maybe you're married now, and now this person won't leave you be. And the whole deal is being revealed is that this person has been doing witchcraft on you to bind you in the spirit so that they can have access to you just in case that their current relationship doesn't work out, that they have somebody to fall back on. And that's what I'm seeing in the collective, is somebody's going to hear news that they've been under some sort of oppressive witchcraft. And this oppressive witchcraft is not just in your relationships, but your career. And they're enjoying this, by the way. This is somebody who's happily enjoying doing this to you, where they're you may be ruining your reputation, slandering you, and also keeping you energetically and spiritually captive, that you can't go to nobody else in your life or be around anybody else, only to them. Like you're serving them. Yeah, somebody's going to hear something about something in regards to their relationships. Maybe somebody's actions towards you in regards to some sort of come up financially. Someone who's been very envious of you, moving on, maybe going to someone else where they never have stepped in. This is like somebody who never stepped in to you correctly. See you move off to somebody else, and they already have somebody else, and they literally start to act unhinged and do things against their best self. They're going to go through heavy karma from what I'm seeing. The karma card comes right out. Somebody's going to go through an awakening. Whatever awakening this person is going to go through, it's going to be huge. It's going to cause some sort of awakening, maybe a dark night of the soul. But what it is that the collective is dealing with right now is that there's people who are having very extreme desires, desires to be rich and famous, extreme desires to be to live a legacy, have other half is to retire wealthy, and people's desires have manifested into the corruption at a level that seems quite demonic. It's like watching, have people make jokes about the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, maybe this is a zombie apocalypse because these people are acting like they have no self-control. And that's what we're starting to see in the collective, that a lot of people who have this spiritual knowledge, this spiritual wisdom, or maybe even the spiritual hand, having no integrity, no self-control, and who you would deem to be in integrity don't have any, or they have become so lustful in the spirit of power, abundance, or glory of some sort, that they didn't take the proper steps to achieve it. They just, now they're energy harvesting and trying to make themselves into something that a lot of you guys are going to see in the collective, that a lot of the energies out here is the part in the Bible where the false prophets is standing in positions where the real people are pushed aside. So I feel like a lot of you are going to see a lot of very reputable people um, look like charlatans, you know? You're going to see that these people have stolen energies that don't match them, and that's not hard to see. You're going to see things that does not match the individual as you see it. I think a lot of you guys are going to get out of this mental spiritual fog because you've been so close to the blast zone, you can't see it any other way. And when you fully step out and let yourself clear out, you're going to see the difference quite easily. And a lot of you got to step out of the fog so that you can see clearly. Because a lot of you are so close to that blast zone that you can't see straight. You can't see the obvious right before your eyes. It's like somebody doing a puppet show. Like it's like the Wizard of Oz, but the Wizard of Oz is actually being seen and doing hand tricks like a uh pulling a rabbit out of a hat. And you're going, oh, I'm so entertained. I'm entertained. I'm like, did you not see the rabbit come out of his back pocket? You know, so it's giving that, okay, collective? Yeah. So a lot of the energies that we're dealing with in the collective is pretty much an energetic money heist. You should see my cards right now. I'm like, oh my God, it's like an energetic money heist. It's like a money energetic heist. That's what we're dealing with in the collective. And it's gonna cause a lot of people pain. A lot of correction is needed in the collective. When I say correction, I'm not talking negative correction. I'm just talking about healing on a deeper level. And not just for the persons, the victims, but the people who projected these harms on so many people, the backlash is going to be very extreme. I don't know. It's like everybody named Mama gonna need help. And I'm not laughing for like spite. I'm laughing because I'm like, good God, you should have stopped a long time ago. This is like somebody who got on a speeding train and the train is shooting flames from both sides of the wheels and everybody's still having a party while the flames is flying outside of the wheels of a train that's a runaway train. So collective, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Someone is definitely going to, s- someone is, not just someone, but a collective of people have definitely abused the system, their trust, their knowledge, um, maybe even to their, I call it even to like the secrecy of it. Some things are supposed to be, especially in organizations like spiritual organizations, they used to keep things very calm and low key and not as loud as I've seen it in the last 5 years because there's so many people talking about it. I'm like, who is the leader? Because this is like a runaway train. Um, no one stopped. And that's what I see in the collective. No one stopped. No one's going to stop. That is, it's just like a whole bunch of people who have an obsession, um, through greed, through energy, through potential, even that they have literally like as they're doing, I see them cutting off their own hand. Like again, I've been seeing this vision a lot and it's kind of creepy. But I feel like as these people are doing harm to the collective, they're losing their vitality as we speak in the collective. I see somebody fading invisible, like as I'm watching them trying to steal, like they're so obsessed and they can't stop, and they're angry, they're mean-spirited, and they're stealing and they won't stop. And I see them literally disappearing. Okay. So I'm like, is this the rapture? That's another joke. Okay. All right. But anyways, it's giving rapture-ish, okay? Vibes. But I've been seeing people who's been in this very fixated state literally disappearing slowly, not fast. Just a slow disappear. You're gonna like, what happened to such and such? Probably vaporized. I don't know. Especially if you mess with the wrong spirit. If you mess with the wrong squad, you may be vaporized. I don't know, collective. They have done a lot of offenses out here. They have done a lot of offenses. Okay. It's so much so that I don't even all I'll say is don't be in the blast zone. Run. And run fast. You may not even be able to run fast enough. Yeah, the veil is thinning collective. Oh my God. All right, see what's going on here. All right. Well, the cards are beautiful now. I guess I just had to get this reading out because the cards in the beginning were a hot, bloody mess. Then the cards are beautiful. Whoever's doing this false narrative is going to get a surprise. Somebody should not be lying out here in the spiritual streets. But anyways, the cards are very beautiful right now. Um, somebody's hexing, people hexing people. I mean, when I say disrespectful, honey child, somebody open up the five grimoires at once and just threw every spell that they could find in the grimoire, volume five. That means all five books are open. They didn't cast every spell that they could cast out in this collective. Okay. When I say they have cast every spell, they have cast every goddamn spell they could find in the collective. Okay. This is to me not just an irresponsibility, but me, just seeing the collective, how much the collective is picking up on. And there's a lot that the collective haven't even said. Um, Another thing that I've been noticing too is that the collective know exactly who's doing it. Because I've seen a couple, I ain't gonna say no names, but some of y'all have actually called the person's name out. I know the person's name, so I'm not gonna say it, but I've seen people call out this person's name not more than once. About 8, 10 times. So everybody in the collective is very aware who is doing what and who's associated with what. So everyone's playing dumb, but nobody's really blind but what's happening in the collective. Some reason they're thinking that nobody sees even in the fog, but some people are seeing, it's only a haystack, but the haystack is communicating. That's the thing. And spirits make me laugh because spirit says they can't shut you up. So see what else is collected. Even today, like people ask me, how long I've been dealing with my spiritual experiences. I've been dealing with it for about 60 years, and I know how it started, and I know oh, I can't say I know how it ends, but I do. I know how it started, and I know how it ends. Um, Justice. That's the card that I'm seeing right now. Somebody's getting in prison. Uh-oh, somebody's going to jail. Somebody's doing evil eye. The evil eye's going back to him, by the way. Due to some false documents. Again, honey, yes, heavy manipulation on some documents towards a healer is coming to an end. So whatever this manipulation they've been doing, evil eye, I wouldn't recommend them do this evil eye. That's another spell I've seen. Someone's trying to make someone blind or hitting them in the eye. It's like a little thin thread across the eye. So someone's doing eye magic against people. Now, y'all know I'm a queen bee here. You're gonna go and you're gonna get the holy water, right? Yep, get the holy water. Go on Amazon, get your holy water. And what you're gonna get? You're gonna get rue. And you're going to put some rue in that holy water. If you got an altar, you're going to put that rue on the altar. And then when you get up and that altar is good, leave it there for about an hour or two. If you can leave it there longer, get that rue, open it up, open that holy water, and you're going to not wash your eyes. And, because I don't want you to go blind and hurt yourself. What you're going to do is get a little, cotton ball, and you're going to just close your eyes and you're going to rub right on top of your eyelid. Rub, don't hurt your eye. Don't let them get into your eye. And then go across your temple, cross your eyebrows. And I want you to do your nose as well. Okay. So I want you to do your brim of your nose. And if you really feel paranoid, do your ears and your neck and your throat, your jaw. You want to do your whole face, do your whole face, but do rue and holy water and do it as often as you feel that flick in the eye. So if you feel that flick hit your eye, it feels like air hit your eye, get the cotton ball, get some rue, and just close your eyes and just slowly wipe so it doesn't get into your eye because it may not, it may burn, and just put the rue water over your eye and do it often. What you're seeing, a lot of you can't see this because I can see it, is actually a spiritual worm that's in your eye. Okay? Go play with somebody else. That's how I feel about it. But if you guys want me to help you, I do have products on my Etsy shop. I don't come to play. I believe in the Holy Ghost, and I stand on it 10 toes deep. And if you have symptoms or something, I'm pretty sure I got the solution. I've been through it. I think, to be honest with you, I've been battling for so long. This is, I'm battle worn, but but check my credentials when it comes to Battlefield. I fight I fight like I'm fucking Hercules if I have to, and I've been toned down. And I'll be honest with you, I say this, and I'm not saying this as a boast, but I've been, I was told to sit down because I was going to hurt people if I really stood up. Check my credentials. But anyway, but I do believe in the Holy Ghost. And if you really want somebody to help you that is going to genuinely help you, check out my Etsy shop. If you don't see it on Etsy shop, go to my website, aliofficial.com. Email me. You don't have to get a reading if you don't want to. I'm not forcing people to read. But I will say that if you have an issue, yeah, I may can help you out, but don't ask for freebies and nothing like that because I'm not the type of person to trauma bond. So you're gonna see me be very short with you. I'm not gonna, you crying and shit. That's not gonna fly. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna look at you and stare and tell you, man up, bitch. That's how I'm gonna act. Okay. I understand you're going through shit. Everybody is. Um, I'm not gonna hold your hand. Those days are over. Um, I'm just gonna see what you got going on real fast. And if I can give you a solution, I will. But if I don't, I don't. And you will have to pay me. I'm not giving it to you for free. Yes, you goddamn right. Um, Other than that, act accordingly. That's how I feel about it. Anything else? Um, yeah, get the roux. And yes, there's prayers for it, but if you need me, I do have solutions for a lot of you who are going through a lot of pain and a lot of warfare. Get the goddamn root. Even if you can't smoke it in in your house, get the tea and drink the tea. And that should lift a lot of your issues up over time. Not right away, but over time for some of you. Okay? If you need something strong, I got it. Um, don't let everybody tell you things that programming and having you fixated on a belief system that only these things work. I'm telling you right now, it does not. I've been through every single hardcore spell that you could think of. Okay, don't believe the hype. Okay. Um, there's a person that I do know, but I'm not going to share his name yet. I think is really on it as well. And he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do no candle work. He doesn't do anything. He's a straight up, I call it Jesus certified soldier that I recommend as well. Somebody's doing love spells. They need to stop doing these love spells. Okay, let me just tell y'all one more thing before I leave. There's a woman doing love spells on women. Okay, that's weird. Um, there's a woman doing love spells on women as well. And what they're doing is that they make you enamored with these love spells so that they can somehow trespass against you with love spells. Okay, so a lot of you cannot see what is being sent with these damn love spells. Because if you think it's Cupid, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. A lot of these love spell candles are not Cupid. Okay, there's not no cute little angel coming out of the thing. It's not unless somebody's really calling the deity of love, she's not coming out of the candle either. You hear these love goddesses, unless there's somebody who's a practitioner who really knows how to work with the love goddess to pull her up and then conjure her up and get her to do these things for you. But a lot of the candles that a lot of you are lighting are not love candles. They're succubus and incubus spirits, and a lot of you are enamored by this influence. And I see a lot of you wondering how people keep trespassing against you over and over and over again. It's because they're doing these love spells and they're interceding on you through sleep, where they're doing spell work, where they're gaining permission through these love spells to get something from you, be a partner in your business. Like you own a business and you wonder why your business is not growing. They have done a love spell on you to make it like your partners in the business and then siphon your business money to them And so there's people doing this as well in the spirit where they're stealing people's you know money, or having you enamored with them when you're really truly not even interested, but you don't even know, because a lot of you, like I said, don't have that intuitive insight. But a lot of you are in business, and maybe your business was growing beforehand and it's not now. And what they're doing is they're doing love spells, and they're creating these partnerships with you or contracts with you in the spirit through love spells. So women and men are doing love spells against men, against men, women against women, and a lot of you are not um, be able to see through that sort of manipulation. And then they probably do some more work on you at night and walk through your house and doing, it's like a very aggressive warfare. A lot of you may not fully be aware of, but a lot of you who are in business, and if you're going through business struggles, you're probably thinking it's just a normal hex curse or something like that. Some of you may be a little deeper than that, more complex, and they may be doing love spells to keep you nice and calm and happy. And I don't know, you're not calling judgment as you should, or you're not being able to research as you should in some sort of way, because these people have tied themselves energetically to you to inhabit your blessings. Yes, the devil is a lie, but a lot of you need to get to safety. To be my honest opinion, a lot of you are in the blast zone of very hostile, dark energies, and a lot of you need to get to the higher room. I call it the upper room, the middle way of spirituality, or the high room, so that you're safe. This is my message to you, that a lot of you are in the danger zone and in the blast zone of your salvation, your sovereignty, and your overall wellness in life. And there's people who are doing anything to the max mode of stealing it from you, even to slander you, to be you're the obsessive and you're the Jezebel spirit, to find out that all this is masterminded by a group of people to steal from you in the spirit. And some of you have very complex cases, and a lot of you are not as extreme, but a lot of you are going through that similar environment, because there's too many readings that are all kind of saying the same thing, and a lot of you are repeating the same cycle. And hopefully you're doing the right thing by documenting, reporting it to the right authorities. And if you're dealing with a computer hacker, somebody who's hacking on your phone, document everything, because these people are trying, again, maybe trying to, if you had a criminal past or you don't have one, that these people may try to scapegoat you and do. I heard there's rumors out there, people doing identity theft, impersonation, maybe open up bank accounts, maybe coming into your website. So doing anything to duplicate, or I call it phishing your websites, and diverting your money to their website. So there's a lot going on, collective. There's a lot of stuff, activities going on. It's probably too much going on. And the collective, I hope, this message gets out there and it spreads, and that other people start to communicate, these other leaders and teachers start to communicate this wisdom, as we should, to strengthen our community. Okay. All right. Many blessings.